Hey, can we hear me now? What's up, everybody? I made the amazing blunder of having my mic muted. Um, Welcome to episode 2 of Gaea Chronicles. If this is your first time here, welcome to the Vibe Tribe, and thank you for putting up with my awful haircut. Um, this is why they say go to a barber. I put on the wrong guard to thin it out. It was just getting a little too long. I wanted to trim it down, and it went wrong. But it grows back. It does grow back. So, welcome in, everybody. It has been 2 weeks. How's everybody feeling?
Yeah, great.
Having a grand time.
Yeah.
It's been cold and icy and good to be
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to sell it to me. I love it.
Feeling good to be indoors and here right now and not outside.
I was thinking about opening the window.
No, please don't.
Well, I'm in Florida.
Oh, well. Okay. I guess it's warm there. I've been hearing that it's not been as warm as it usually is in the South.
Yesterday, it was 35 degrees when I got up.
Yeah.
And then it got up into the 72. So
Yeah.
I got dressed for 35, which basically just meant tall socks and a hoodie. Then the hoodie had to go. And I really like this hoodie. It is the Vibe Tribe hoodie.
Ooh.
I have a Vibe Tribe tank top that I'm so excited to eventually wear out in the open. But yeah, the hoodie is absolutely awesome. That looks fantastic.
I love it. And it's so comfy. Guys, go to the Vibe Tribe website. Get yours. They are so comfy. I love it. Well, guys, you have had 2 weeks to emotionally recover.
I think I still need
I
to.
didn't.
I changed my subclass, so I'm feeling great and prepared and ready to go.
Well, we'll get into that in a bit. So, last time we were all in the capital city of Idris, where the Kalem family has ruled for over 500 years. 13 successful peaceful succession of the monarchy, and they were attacked at the Centennial Peace Fair after they had made peace with every other nation in the world. It was bad. Bad things happened. Things were on fire. People were dying. And there was running, a lot of running. As you finally got out of the city and finally made your way into the forest, you were eventually found by the princess. And she is now leading your group as you guys were camping at the just before the stone bridge into Finley. And that's a slight misnomer, as you have to take the bridge before you can head south. But that is where we are. So, as dawn comes and you begin your day with everything about you and everything else and all of the memories, what do you feel?
think
For
oh. Go ahead.
for Dorlor, as he begins to wake, there is a bit of, I don't know, relief to be able to see another day despite what has happened, yet still uneasy about not knowing truly what the hell just happened. He's swimming in a bit of confusion, anger that he couldn't do more, sadness for those who might have been lost, but also just that relief that he is still there breathing.
Cypress is angry. I would also say scared and feeling more and more a combination of powerless but empowered to become empowered. It's a conflict that I think he's going to carry forward of trying to balance that feeling of like environmentally sustained hope and the drive to be better and do more and not compromise when it comes to taking care of himself and those who deserve to be spoken up for and taken care of.
For Norm, they feel kind of like similar to what Dorlor felt in terms of if only he was able to be able to protect more, but he's like, since he really kind of dwindles on what he sees, he's like been studying, he's recreated kind of what they look like and trying to figure out ways to kind of even the playing field, but also find a way to make himself stronger to protect his friend. I mean, his people that he's been around. I guess he would consider them his friends. They shared sweet rolls, but also like just like the animals and things like that he wasn't able to protect. He's just constantly thinking of ways to make himself stronger with his mind and inventions.
Davin is having a rough morning. Um, uh, he is forefront of his mind is that he's trying to push aside is the overall concern for his father, and his wondering where his father is and hoping that he got out and hoping that he's okay, believing that, trying to hold on to that glimmer that it's possible that he did get out, but the city was so in such a disarray that he can't really confirm that. So until he has that clarified, he is going to hold on to that bit of doubt. He's angry is a good word. Angry is a really good word. He is contemplative because he does not know why this happened, especially considering the years of peace that have been going on for so long, and why he wants to know why something or who has taken this opportunity on that day, this centennial celebration. They took that day to attack, and But thinking's not his biggest, forte. Thinking that was, I hate to say it, that was his father. His father was the thinking person. His father was a businessman. And while Davin was learning about it, he was just barely getting started before now he has to deal with the repercussions of what happened yesterday. He is also concerned regarding Penny. They seem to know something and maybe know a bit more than they're telling, but he's allowing the chaos of what just fucking happened to be like, okay, you can have your you can have your moment, because I'm sure we're all in a bit of shock. So let's let you have this time to maybe not divulge everything, maybe not give all the information that you want to give, but I feel like they know more than they are letting on.
Let a hoe have their secrets. Just kidding. Penny. Penny is haunted, I think would be a good word for the emotions. They feel very numb still about what they had witnessed. And I think they have a little bit of like guilt, and I don't know if it would be considered like a survivor's guilt kind of thing, from just seeing the sheer amount of spirits that were used in the crystal really just kind of messed them up. And the kind of prevailing thought for Penny is, besides haunting and guilt, is also shame. They feel like they could have done more had they not chosen to run, and they feel shame for that.
So, as you're all preparing your mornings, coming to your own self-awakenings to the pain of the previous day, you guys traveled almost 30 miles from the end of the celebration, the abrupt end of the celebration, until you literally were running as long as you can, walked until you could catch your breath, running again throughout the night. You've only had a bare sleep. You've had a few hours max. So everybody's tired today as you have your rest. As now the princess is encouraging everyone to get up, and her supporters are helping everyone. And there's small bits of food that they've managed to collect and share and everything else, and bits of actual oats and some wheat and everything else. And you're just eating, kernels and things like that as you go through. And then there's a little meat that's brought around for those of you who do partake, but everyone gets like a bite, because there's so many people to feed and so little to go around. And as the journey begins today, you cross the massive stone bridge. As you begin walking, you don't see the other side. As you begin, it is lunchtime by the time you get to the other side. So everybody can make an intelligence check about that. So 18, 22.
I don't know why mine put. Oh no, I was looking at the wrong thing. Sorry. Oh, okay.
So this bridge was made hundreds of years ago via magic, as it was a literal and figurative bridge between a schism within the Kalem family, as the family had at one point there was a bit of tension as the many generations ago the Duchy of Findley was created, aside from the Kingdom of Idris. And the bridge itself, made by magic, and everything put together, that spans more than 12 miles. The only other way is hundreds of miles around the river, or attempt to find a place to ford it. By the time you do get to the end, beautiful rosette mountains have come into view across what is this massive savanna. The temperature, not much warmer, but much drier air. Still full, luscious green along the river, but it gives to amber grasses and grains and fields beyond it as you enter a savanna. As you guys are led, you do make it to the edge of the city by nightfall. As you guys, I have a picture for you guys. Now, I want to see if I can actually send this into it's not a
Ooh,
PDF.
make it the background.
Let me see if I can. Loading, loading, loading.
There we go.
As we make it to the city of Findley just before nightfall, a beautiful the city is a mix of beiges that you would almost think bland. But as you sit here, everything is adorned with these brilliant blue tiles, rich green plants that grow across things. Every eave has something growing, hanging from it. The city itself has numerous gardens, water fountains, and you see that there is an abundance of food everywhere for all of the people. And by this point in time, as you all and the rest of the refugees are making their way into the city, you see the people of the city itself handing you food, clothes, blankets. A moment of compassion and outreach that, with everything that you have been feeling, you weren't ready for. You hear quick, hushed conversations between the princess and a number of people, that the Duke is going to want to see her, and you're hearing uh, all of these other conversations that are being quickly had. Merchants selling all sorts of wares throughout the streets, and yet they are giving away food to the children lost and crying and everything else. They're giving away toys. In a moment like this, how do you feel?
I'll go first, I guess, since uh, Davin is, for the first time in a while since all of it's gone down, feeling a bit of hope with this overabundance of compassion and empathy. Um, he is helping along with the others, like if people are passing out food, he's looking for people specifically to like give something to, so that other people, especially the younger ones, are not going hungry, because we've been walking for so long. People are tired, hungry, upset, and hopefully this he's hoping that this gesture of empathy will um raise the hopes of the people. So he's doing as much as he can to like give out along with the other people that are giving, and he will take like a blanket and some food for himself, because he's starving. um when you realize how long, he's a big boy, he's a tall boy, um he liked to eat,
He needs that
so
protein.
right, um swinging hammers all day is not easy work. He needs that protein, get that muscle back. So so he will eat, and partake, maybe sit with a couple, like sit for a moment, but he is, um I would say it's giving him the hope that he is hoping that this princess and everything else will provide for us in the future, in the near future.
Um, Cypress is going to take the opportunity as the food is getting passed out to kind of find where those main like distribution points are, and he's going to start scrounging for medical supplies, and as people stop to get food, offer to um, quickly treat wounds, and do what he used to do when he had his clinic, which is more of like care for the ones who are for the ones who need like topical assistance. So anyone who has like sore feet or hurt ankles, aching joints, he's going to quickly do wraps and like physical therapy type things to keep them up and moving as they can go and find shelter. And that's what he's going to do as his part to help those who are already helping. And that's his um it like comes natural to him. He's almost like in a state of shock at that, but um it's what he was trained to do, it's what he was educated to do, and what he used to do before the next stage of his life started. And it's almost like he's in two pieces mentally, as he remembers who he used to be and what he used to do, and now what he's become, and how he can kind of join those two sides of him together.
As Drolor is walking through, he is taking in the sights and sounds and the generosity of everyone. He's always been seen as kind of an outsider just due to his look and his size, and this level of generosity and empathy is still, while not new, still overwhelming to him as someone who doesn't get it as much. So he's pretty quiet walking through the city and just taking it in. As he's gathering food and such, he's handing it out to um, the kids that are still piggyback riding on his shoulders, having fun, trying to still have fun in this kind of moment. But is handing them food and blankets and making sure that they get their rations first before he takes some for himself. But overall is just it's reaffirming that there is still good in this world despite all the evil that just occurred, that just maybe we're going to be okay. Maybe things are going to work out for the better. There is still a sunrise on the horizon. It might take miles and miles of walking to get to it, but it's there.
Penny is sticking close to Cypress, and almost in a similar kind of like dissociative um, position as Cypress, is just going to try and start trying to help medically as they can. And they're also going to say like a few forced prayers over people who seem like they need it. Not really speaking from any kind of like religion, but just from stuff that they picked up while living in the sacred lands. Oh, but otherwise they feel kind of out of place in a whole community type situation about this.
Norm is kind of doing the same thing. He's walking around and helping people that are like injured and applying medicine, and like if there's any like kind of taking what they saw to see if he can kind of paint a picture more of if anybody saw something differently than they did. Just trying to kind of paint a better picture of maybe something that he didn't see or that wasn't in front of them. But yeah, he's just helping people however he can, not eating, just working.
As you're all beginning to settle into some form of routine over the next hours, you're reciting prayers, you're taking care of people, you're applying, medical attention. You're sit here and try to figure out what can you physically do. And as you're sitting here trying to put these pieces back together, knowing, well, this is who I was. These are things I can do. As you're trying to put all of those pieces together of yourself, as much as you're helping others, you're also helping yourself a bit. It wasn't necessarily the goal, but as you're helping them through this time, you're finding you all at least have some unique skill that is helpful to everyone else in this time of crisis. And being of help is helpful to you. It has been several hours. Night has fallen. Refugees continue to straggle in. Nearby inns are packed as they have opened their doors and continue to help and serve. These people are their family, their cousins. This was a split within the royal line that at a time when things were far more chaotic, they managed to make peace with themselves, and then they managed to make peace with the rest of the world. That peace had carried over, and it continues to. Currently, Finley is a bastion of hope and renewal. And you can't shake the feeling. Those ships flew through the sky from where and could be here any moment, if not already. And that fear gnaws at you.
Why'd you have to go and do that?
Because someone hurt me.
Me in real time, just being like, "Oh God, no! Finlay could be next."
As the sun has now long set, torches lit throughout the streets. People still moving about the marketplace and the courtyards. The outreach is still present as refugees continue to pour in, which is when you all hear a riot start. As shouts and fighting begin to break out at the city's edge, not far from your location.
I will immediately get up and start making my way that way. Just not now. Just that's where my head is. Like, really, right now, do we need to deal with this? Like, people are trying to sleep, whatever, So I'm just it's the. I hope this isn't what I think it is. Please don't let this be what I think it is. But like, maybe it's just people being shitty. Like, that's my overall thought as I start making my way towards this ruckus.
Okay, give me a strength check.
Oh, baby, here we go. Strength check.
You're good at that. Come on, you can do it.
Unless I roll a 2. That strength check is a 7.
So As you push and try to get through the crowd, it is so tightly packed from the direction that you're coming in at, you're just not able to get through. You are able to see the crowd itself is responding to other people trying to come into the city. Your distance is too far away. It's not quite bright enough there for you to recognize who it is. Anybody else?
Yeah, I'm probably making my way there too, just in that kind of frustration of don't let this good thing be tainted by anything else. And I'm gonna hope that my height, hopefully, I can see over people and see better out into what we see.
So first you have to make a strength check through the crowd.
17.
17. As you step up, you begin to just reach a hand down. And as people start to look over their shoulders, you just lean forward and just start pulling them aside. You aren't trying to be scary.
No,
But
never.
at shy of 8 feet, that's still not a fight that I want.
I don't think anybody
Again,
really wants
I'm
that.
just a big old teddy bear.
You may be, but that is a really big bear. So as this massive man sits here and makes his way through the crowd, reaching over people and starting to slide them, as people realize, oh, that arm has reached all the way over me and is pulling me out of the way, they realize what's going on and they're like, oh, that's a very and people begin to move. As you get closer, you do get within range, and I'm not going to make you roll it because you're already in position at this point, and you can already see these individuals coming into the city are wearing the enemy's uniform. Now, what you don't see on them are weapons.
Can I take this moment to try and climb up Drolor's body and try and sit on his shoulders for a better look?
He's part of the crowd, but it's still a little tight. I need you to either make a strength check to move them or a dexterity check to maneuver to get up to Drolor.
I'm gonna do a dex check because I have a +1 in that. That's an 18.
As you follow Drolor through the crowd, not even friends with this person, truly, but you've all created a bond of trauma, a bond of caring for others. And when you're in a situation like this, even if you don't know who a person is, you start learning who to trust. As you make your way, you get up to Drolor, and as you get to this position, you kind of just like tug on his arm. As he notices you, he like reaches down and starts pulling you up into position. And yes, now you can see what's going on.
Can I say uppies before he does it?
You absolutely can.
Yes.
So I'm gonna need to hear that in character.
You just hug on my
I haven't practiced my petty voice all week. This is bad.
Don't worry. All of my characters are either Irish or Russian.
Uppies.
Oh, yeah. And I reach down to bring Penny up and onto my shoulder. And as I'm bringing them up, I'm saying, it looks like we got some trouble.
It does. Figured it would only be a matter of time.
My question is, if it's the enemy we think, why aren't they just opening fire, blasting down, taking charge? Why are they getting... I mean, yeah, I guess it's a good thing they're getting stopped, but if this is the same army that we just ran from, what is going on?
Could they be defectors? I don't see any weapons on them.
I don't either. I want to see if we could take a closer look. I'm fairly
I'm
certain.
down if you're down. I'm just along for the ride.
In more ways than one. And Droller's gonna, like, for the first time, like, he's very, like, as tall and big as he is, he tries to carry himself with a sense of nicety. For one of the first times, he, like, kind of puffs up his chest to try to assert some sort of strength, and essentially for a big guy, making himself bigger so that not just he can figure out what is going on, but so the folks there can know that they're also protected. They're protecting him. He's going to protect them back. And with that, he is going to start making his way to the front to confront who this is.
Okay. If only Droller were a rune knight.
Right? Oh, God, that would be... Oh, God, an 8-foot tall person getting even larger? Oh, I'm a freaking mountain. Oh, God.
Cypress, as you look up from your duties, you realize you don't see Penny.
Yeah, I think that's a instant, like, surprise squirrel meme moment, where it's like a bundle of bandages, and then look up, no Penny, and then one ear kind of, like, you know, the bunny that he is, and hears the commotion, and just drops the, like, the roll of bandages. And then what I would like to do is just rabbit speed out and try and, like, not necessarily the most direct line, but the path of least resistance to get to the source of that commotion, even if that means kind of a mirror of before the events of the fair in Idris, where Penny and Cypress split off from each other. I think it's that same kind of thought process, instinct taking over.
Okay. With the crowd closed back in, filling in that gaps that were left by Droller, go ahead and just give me a dexterity check.
Cool. Awesome. That's great. That's a 5, everybody. That's this many. So that's just great.
And ordinarily, if you had to move through the crowd, that would hamper you. But as a Herringon, with your amazing ability to jump and your natural quickness, you take a separate route. As you move towards the commotion, you speed off in this direction. However, you then go sideways on a wall and up onto a balcony. Running across this balcony and dropping down into a gap in the crowd itself, and find a new path that opens up.
Excellent.
As you make your way through, by this time, David, you have now managed to get through as well.
Okay, good.
As the two of you begin to reach this point and are now catching up to where Drolor and Penny, now visible, are. And before we continue, Norm, because I want to get everybody together who is wanting to participate.
I'm gonna have no problem going through the crowd. It almost looks like Norm, even though everybody like who's looking at him just sees a big old suit of armor, he manages to just like somehow just squeeze by whatever gap. He doesn't force his way through, but it almost
Give me your dexterity check at advantage.
well, it almost seems like he's just very fluid, just going through. I was just gonna.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I know what you're doing.
Yeah. Okay. All right. If you want me to do dexterity, I'll do it.
Dan, ask Droller for uppies too. Do it. Do it.
Okay.
See?
The dice knew.
The dice knew.
The dice knew. Just very. Excuse me. Pardon me. And like, just
As a suit of full plate armor somehow manages to squeeze in on itself, moving through every open space across the ground, and then coming out full size again in the gaps, and now you're all together. So, as a group, what's going on? What are we doing?
So Davin will now see that they have the enemy's robes, for lack of a better phrase, on, the uniforms on. He wants to know, are these additional refugees, or do they have intent to harm? I know we don't have insights per se, but I guess that's
Wisdom check.
Wisdom, yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
21. Yes.
There you go. As you look at them across this crowd, no weapons. They look tired. Some of them are bleeding. Gunshot wounds.
With that, I will say, booming voice, surprising, I think, everybody, because Davin has not been very strong and vocal, but he will be like, stop your fighting. These people need help. I understand your concerns that they may be enemy, but I don't think they are the enemy.
Give me a charisma check.
Ooh, is my charisma good? I don't even remember. It's been so long.
I think your charisma was on the opposite end of good.
Yeah, it was kind of. Okay, here we go.
Don't worry, everything's a spectrum. Everything's a spectrum.
Here we go, and oh yeah, natural 20 for 21.
There we go.
Nice.
So, as you point out the fact that these are wounded, unarmed, and showed up here, they're surrendering. From whatever events that have happened, these are enemy soldiers surrendering.
Yeah, then I'll say that they're surrendering. They need help, just like you helped us. See if you can help them.
Well, as you were able to then take charge of them, as you're currently the commander in this situation, you have the authority in this group of people. The crowd itself is less apt to help them, but they will let them pass if they're taken into your custody.
Okay. I will point to these enemies and say, you there. If you are true and truly hurt and do not wish to harm us, we will let you pass. One false move.
You hear a voice in your head as one of them makes eye contact with you. As he says, we were supposed to be attacking a military exercise, not civilians.
And I heard that in my head.
In your head.
I will try to think back, I guess. I'm thinking, I'm not gonna and I'll say in my head, did you mean to attack Idris?
We knew we were attacking Idris, but it was supposed to be military. It was supposed to be a proper war, not civilians.
Oh, God. Where did you get this order from?
From the Emperor.
Oh. I will audibly sigh and say, and I will say out loud, we need to take them to the princess or the duke or whoever.
Yes.
Whoever the fuck is in charge here.
Drolor will look and volunteer to essentially assist with the escort to where they need to go.
So remember, you four didn't hear anything.
Yeah.
Just hearing from.
But I will.
Yeah.
So I will have said to you all, like, we need to take them to the princess and as soon as possible. There's something going on that I do not feel in this group of people that are on the edge of hurting these people more. I don't feel like saying that out loud. And I'll point to my head, and because I can't mind speak, but I'll just like try to like give it like the indication of like I heard something in here, but
you guys all roll intelligence checks. The other four specifically.
Yes. Huh.
Could I, Eric,
Yes.
make the argument based off of my backstory? Could I make this with advantage?
Which paragraph?
Hang on, wait for it. I'll tell you in a second. What's my character's name?
Because you had a very long backstory.
I did.
Yes, you did.
Oh, I can't count that high.
I did get a 19.
All right.
Where are you? Hang on. Hold up. So if you look at my backstory just before journal entry escape towards the bottom, it's 1, 2, like 2 up from that.
Just read it out loud.
No,
Share
I
your
don't want
secrets.
to. No, I don't want to ruin my secrets.
Share with the class.
I refuse.
I mean, we can. Oh,
You shared with our
Yes.
Discord. Share with our audience, coward.
Yes, you can make this check with advantage.
Thank you, Eric. Doesn't matter. All that for a 7 and a 10, baby. That's how I play D&D.
You don't know exactly what they're doing, but you know that certain creatures can.
Cool.
What you are not familiar with is apparent humans doing it.
Got it. I think I know enough to trust Davin in this instance.
At one point, you were conning him, but he has proven to be nothing but trustworthy in so much as you've seen.
Works for me.
Would this be the same way that people would talk to Faith?
The people would almost reach out audibly to the Faith.
Okay.
They would receive whatever messages back in, as they would say, a feeling or whatever.
Right. Okay.
So
less sensory. Okay.
So you're not sure exactly what happened, Norm. But everybody else at least has some understanding of the fact that it is possible for certain beings to communicate without words. As Drolor begins the process of ushering these people in, and just even gentle giant, there is a massive mitt on these people's shoulders as they sit here and start walking towards the palace.
I might be using some prestidigitation to have an audible growl as we are moving them through.
Yeah,
So-
I will be essentially. I'm letting Drolor take the lead because he is the tallest, and people will immediately say, "I will tell these people, the enemies, to follow the big one, the big tall one." But I'm going to be right behind Drolor, sort of keeping pace with him as we make our way to the palace.
Okay. As you guys make to the end of the massive conglomeration of people here in this market square, as you're coming out, the guards have finally arrived, and they see you guys having these people in custody, that they're unarmed, that they're wounded, and that you are in control. They allow you to escort them all the way to the palace, and then the guards themselves are acting almost as your retinue as they follow you guys.
Nice.
As you guys are brought all the way to the palace, my notes. Don't worry, I only have 207 pages.
Yeah, just 200. That's
all.
That's all.
Hey, that's less than quadruple digits, so that's good.
So, as you guys have made your way in, there is a lot of contention along the way. The townspeople are a little upset, a little worried, a lot scared. But the city guards are here, and those people are here. Nobody knows who you are. You only got here a few hours ago, refugees yourselves. But whatever is going on, you are in control of the situation, And even if it's fake it till you make it, your presence in the situation is going a long way with the people around you. As you enter the palace itself, you see the princesses available, along with all of her guards, along with more direct palace guards, and it is a good motto, fake it till you make it, an individual whom you do not recognize. So, it seems that we have an interesting scenario. Why are you here? And again, one of the guards locks eyes with the princess. Do you speak our language? Yes. It's difficult. At home, we all speak with mind. Then I shall be your translator. As she begins to narrate what is spoken. The attack ordered by the Emperor, the Elan Empire has made their efforts to conquer Idris, reunite the two continents of Arisinatra, and reunite the entire human populace. The attack itself was told to the rank and file that it is to be an attack on a military exercise and that there wouldn't be civilians there. As far as anyone can tell at this moment, you can make wisdom checks to see if you believe him. David, you already made yours.
Okay.
You believe that this person is insinuating the truth of what they believe.
Mm-hmm.
This was their emperor lied to them.
Yeah.
And at least this group here said no. And when they did, they were shot by their own forces.
Oh.
And what actually got here is only 1/10 of the group that had actually said no. A lot more confused soldiers died than made it.
Well, Davin he was going to say something, but he stops himself.
Drollor, you also believe them. Penny, as you think about what their army has already done, in their in their manipulation of aeons, your opinion is currently I don't know any other way to say it. You're biased.
Penny's still sitting up on Drollo's shoulder, like, they're lucky I'm up here, or else I'd be fucking beating their asses in.
I can feel the heat coming off of you.
Cypress, you think that he's telling the truth, but you're also concerned about what is he not saying. And Norm, I'm so sorry. What? No, that's
Norm's
exactly
thinking about them sweet rolls.
Norm, if you can't hear what they're saying, and somebody else is just repeating something, how you don't know if what they're hearing or what they're repeating is what was being said.
Right.
There's
I don't believe
too
it
much separation.
Until I can see it for myself, I don't believe it.
Just
I'm
too much
very
separation.
Yeah.
As the princess looks over to the man, he is extremely well dressed. The cut of the fabric is amazing. The fabrics are very nice, but there is very little adornment. He has a few pieces of very select jewelry, a ring, a necklace, and he has a thin circlet. As he looks to them, take them to see a Physica. Once they're cleared, put them in separate barracks under guard. See that they're fed. Thank you, Uncle Tullus. So, you were a part of the camp.
Me?
All
Or
of you.
us? Yes. Yeah.
You took it upon yourselves to bring them in.
Yes. The crowd was close to riot, considering the trauma that they had just gone through. They were angry, scared of potentially having to run or get hurt again. So I could see why they were, angry and upset. These uniforms are what the things that were attacking us were wearing. But we saw they were unarmed. They were injured. The ones we encountered before gave no warning. They did not come. They did not come with nothing but violence. That's all they did. They were only violent. So seeing these few, and them not immediately attacking gave us pause.
If they were here to kill, there'd be hundreds dead already after the attack they took out on us. The fact that they were just standing there doing nothing just gave us that little bit of notice that something was different about them. Didn't know what it was, but what I do know is their presence can help us. They can help us figure out why and who, and hopefully give a better sense for a counterattack or defenses even. Y'all have given us so much help here. And while this might seem counter to that, I feel like this is our way of helping you as well, by giving you resources to prevent this from ever happening again. This might be just one thing, but it can go miles to help us in the future, I feel. And I do believe you're right. There is more to this than just a random attack.
You are courageous. You're kind. You look for friends in the presence of enemies. These are virtues of House Calum and Eridus. You are my guests tonight in this palace.
Thank you.
Come, get them something to eat, something to wear. As servants come over to you and start ushering you to baths, and you're given or essentially charcuterie boards to start, as they tell you that dinner will be ready soon.
You know, I think we made the right choice.
I think so too.
and directly, I actually, knowing how probably angry they still are, I probably am looking up at Finn and saying that when we start getting all this food and clothes and a palace.
Well, you're guests. You don't get a palace.
Not with that attitude, we don't.
We get to stay in a palace. I don't get to do this. I live in the mountains.
Yeah. I will be very nice. It'll be nice to sleep in an actual bed, to eat more than what little is left. Just, I think, take it in, even if it's just for a moment, even if it's just for the night. So Gavin is appreciative. The charcuterie plate is gone in like a minute or two.
On the other end of that spectrum, Cypress is inherently suspicious from the jump and does not like this. I think this is like it's itching into like the socialism part of the brain, where it's like there's a lot here, and if properly rationed and dealt with, this could really help the community at large. And this feels disingenuous. And he's still going to eat, but he's going to, I think, put more in his bag than what he's actually putting in his mouth. And same thing, I think, with the clothes. He's going to take more, the more neutral, subtle, and like specific for something that would suit his Harengon stature, than actually like taking something that he would inherently want. I think this is really like itching in his brain of something's not. This doesn't feel right. This doesn't sit right.
Don't be suspicious. 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 Sorry. Anyway, sorry. Just
Never
Carry
change,
on.
never apologize.
Yeah. But I will take I'll get a nice, outfit, whatever. And I will feel good for the moment, just to take a moment of, I will take this gesture of hospitality as a glimmer of hope.
So the outfits you're all given are very fine linen, soft sandals, a soft, very fine linen blouse and tunic, with or without sleeves, your preference. Um, and for those of you who do feel a slight chill in the air, turbans are available. So, Norm, how do these clothes look on you?
I fashioned some of it like almost like a scarf going around my
Your arm-
neck, my armor neck, yeah. And then I've managed to like uh maybe have some of the fabric that has like because does it have any insignia on it?
No, these are
No,
these are
these are just
all
nice.
just yeah, but they are
Yeah,
all
okay.
exquisitely made.
Yeah, I think that's all he puts is just the turban scarf or material almost like a scarf around his neck. Yeah, but aside from that, nothing would really fit on him. So he kind of just sits there. Um, the prisoners, they're humans though, right? They're not the constructs that we encountered.
I mean, they appear to be entirely human, except that they apparently have telepathy.
Right,
That part.
right. Um, and they're off by themselves while we're waiting here. Correct?
Well, they were wounds were being dressed. They were being confined to a barracks. We don't know which one.
Okay, you're right.
And they were under guard.
Yeah. Okay. I was just
However,
wondering if I could help fish any of those bullets out of them, but if we're
well, they have the surgeons here at the palace, so they may not need your help. Things may get complicated, and they may ask for an extra set of hands.
oh yeah, because I think I can do it way faster than them.
Possibly.
I can fish those bullets out like nothing. I have like
Hello. Hi, buddies.
like almost like a surgeon tools esque part of my armor that I can do, but aside from that, I just kind of wait. And after I have all my turban things like that, I just kind of sit down, just hanging out.
And Penny, you get changed rather quickly as you step out of your room, just to kind of stretch your legs as you manage to enter into very banal conversation with the guards throughout the palace in this little area, and you find out where the prisoners are going to be housed, and knowing which area of the palace, you do have the ability to sneak away.
I would like to do that, please.
And so at this point, even Cypress is still getting changed and finding something that fits his form the best as you do slip away. Avoiding any guards that might want to stop you, the biggest thing is patience. And patience you learned in the Sacred Lands. You had to wait for the spirits to come to you. You had to earn their trust. And with that patience that you have developed over many years, you simply fall in step at the right time, the natural current of a river, as you soon find yourselves in an area that should be off limits. What would you like to do?
I would like to try and find whichever one of those soldiers seemed to be like the head one in charge, the one who did most of the talking and most of the explaining. And I would like to find them, and I would like to have a chat with them.
Okay. As you wait for the changing of the guard, you don't even know how long this is supposed to take. But as it happens, it's only 15 minutes. As these two guards slip away from the door, as another two guards are supposed to be taking their place, you almost literally walk right behind them as they get into position, with their backs against the wall. You have to slip in behind them, and the door shut, all as quiet as you can. And their perception you find yourself in the room and you see them. There they are, bandaged. Their uniforms are with them, but they're not wearing them right now. They've been given other attire, and their uniforms are all sitting at the end of their bunks. Geneva Convention, folks. Enemy soldiers get to keep their uniforms. You are now in a room outnumbered 12 to 1.
Well, there's just like not any bars or nothing separating us. I may have to rethink my plan here a little bit.
Yeah, they're not in a prison. They're
Shit.
currently in a barracks.
Penny is going to close the door as quietly as possible and step forward just like a half a step into the barracks and just look at the soldiers and watch them for a brief moment.
In your new attire, they all stand up to attention because they don't know that you were the individual sitting on Droller's shoulder. They just know you are here in this room while they're under guard. If you weren't supposed to be here, you wouldn't be here. So
Are we still? Oh, go ahead.
they all just come to attention, or whatever best approximation as they can, given wounds.
Are we still technically level 0?
Yes.
Prickle. Okay. I have to rethink my plan. Okay. Penny is going to walk a little bit farther into the room. Do the soldiers seem like what's their emotional state? Can I read anything on their faces?
Roll wisdom checks.
Oh.
Roll a wisdom check, and we'll.
Can I roll 12 wisdom checks for each one of the soldiers? That's a 9.
9.
Yeah.
Right now, the look they have on their faces, they're all standing at attention. It's as professional as you could see of any soldier. You see, certain ones grimace, wounded.
Mm-hmm.
It all seems to be mundane, though professional.
Penny's going to try and give as soft of a smile as possible to show that they're trying to be friendly and not a threat. And they're going to say, there's no reason for such formality here. At ease, I suppose.
You notice they all go from attention into a different position as they all ready themselves. They all turn their heads. Instead of all looking straight ahead, they all move into a slightly more relaxed position. And they all turn their head to you, waiting for address.
I have some questions.
And as you say you have questions, one comes back to attention, steps forward out of file, steps to the center of the room, turns, faces you directly, and goes back to attention.
I don't like how formal this all is. It makes me feel like some kind of dictator. Can't we talk as friends?
He just moves back to the at ease position.
Oh. I don't have long, but I'd like to ask you. I need to ask you questions about the army that you served with. And I'll try not to be as angry as I feel, but there was a man in the town who held a crystal. Do you know who I'm talking about?
And the voice rings in your mind. The lips do not move. One of the mages.
Those soldiers who were in the crystal. Do you know how he or where he got them?
They made them.
Where? Where is home?
Atra, across the sea.
What was the name of that mage? Do you know?
There is more than one.
All of them. How many of them were there?
24?
Do I remember what the mage looked like? He was like an older guy? Question mark?
Middle-aged.
Middle-aged. Can I
mean,
give...
to young folks, that's, old.
Yeah. Penny, who is a ripe age of 27 at this time, thinks that anything above
Half-elven
the age of
years.
32 is an old person. Can I give the soldier a description of the mage that I saw in the middle of the town?
We can see if it helps.
I would like to give them a description of the mage that I saw in town.
The description of age doesn't narrow anything down, as it takes many years to master the art of magic, and longer to be able to control an eidolon, he says.
But do you know his name?
As he sits here and begins to really concentrate on the number of individuals that were there, people he could have known. I know the mage Tolan. I don't know if that's who you speak of.
It's a place to start. Thank you. Do you have a name?
My name is Suk.
Suk.
That's the German U. S, the German U, H, K.
Thank you, because you knew that I was writing that down. Suk. My name is Penny. It's nice to meet you.
And to the closest approximation of the word miss, because they don't know, but the word is also, it has like an emphasis on it as of one in charge.
There's no need for those formalities. I'm just Penny.
Yes, Penny.
Suk, I'll need to leave in a moment, but I have one more question for you. You said that, well, you and the others here are what I would call defectors from your army. When did you realize that you were in the wrong? Did you kill anyone before you decided to betray what you were sent there to do?
I do not betray the Empire. We do not betray the Empire. We preserve the Empire from itself.
What do you mean from itself?
Orders told us it was to be a military engagement, not civilians. If it was a proper war, we would fight. I do not kill civilians.
Thank you for your honor, Sue. For someone like me, it means a lot.
And he returns to attention.
Penny's gonna laugh and kind of turn to leave, and they're gonna say, "At ease, Zook. You're safe here, and you'll never have to kill another civilian again." And they're gonna leave the dungeon.
And
Or the
when
back.
you tell him at ease, but continue to speak with your last words, he makes this gesture as you realize he's saluting you.
Aww.
As he does, the rest salute.
Aww. I want to salute them back. And then I'm gonna leave.
As you step out the door, you see the guards sitting here looking at you. What'd you learn?
I learned that I'm not very good at fishing out bullets from chests and arms, but that I can clean up a wound pretty nice. You learn on forest creatures enough in the woods, and you can do it on just about anything.
I didn't hear any of those types of grunts in the room. I did hear a one-sided conversation, though.
I talk to myself when I'm working. I have always had an affinity for the spirits of the land, and sometimes I find it easier to get through nasty business by talking to the spirits, even if no one else can hear them or see them. You could ask my business partner, Cypress, the Heracon. He knows.
And the names Tolan and Suk.
Two of the spirits that I've encountered in the sacred lands. Or at least what I would call them. They don't necessarily have names, a lot of them. So I come up with names myself. It really saves yourself when you're a child raising yourself in the woods after your mother leaves to go chase after her one-time lover down in Adelaide. You know, when you're by yourself and therefore you have to entertain yourself, and then you have to make your own friends because nobody else will talk to you because you talk to imaginary creatures, quote unquote, if you're like my business partner Cypress.
You're spending an awful lot of time trying to lie.
It's not a lie.
Well, I do imagine you do have imaginary friends. But why you're lying to me about the conversation? I let you have it.
They're from Atra. And I learned that one of the mages I was looking for was named Tollum, and that the head defector in there, his name is Suk. Does this guard look trustworthy?
Roll a wisdom check.
Dirty 20?
You automatically know that you're busted.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you get the feeling that he's more of like an uncle or an in-law who is fishing for the answer, because they're supposed to be a responsible adult in a situation, and he has a job to do. You get the impression that this person knows exactly who you are, the honor and accolade that's been given to you, and that they are trying to give you the benefit of the doubt and allowing you to be honest with him before he reports back to the Duke.
I'm not going to do this, but my first murder hobo instinct was just to kill this guard.
That would have been
I'm
so
not playing.
bad.
I'm not playing that kind of character, but that was my first instinct.
The murder hobo always comes out no matter what the game is.
It's real bad. My other DM can tell you. Knowing that information, I want to take a step closer to the guard, and in a hushed tone say, for the good of all of us, do not let those men be released. Do not let them go anywhere.
I will give you a recommendation to the Duke.
It's not a recommendation.
I will pass on this information to the Duke.
Thank you. And for your information, I really can talk to the spirits. And I really do talk to myself in times of stress. Thank you. And then I turn and walk away.
Cypress, Penny's been gone a while. Guys, you guys are now being summoned for dinner. Penny's
Are
not
we-
back here.
Are we all in the same room, or is it like a block of rooms, or what's the layout for this?
You guys are in a set of palatial apartments. Your whole area is separated just by a few doors and wall dividers and things like that.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's easy for you to just go to the next door or across the hall to the others.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Did Penny say or give Cypress any indication? Nothing at all? Just full on gone? Okay. All Are there guards around?
There are.
Okay. Are they watching us, or are they like? What's the vibe check with them?
As you come out, look at them. They sort of incline themselves to you. It seems a modest bow. You're guests.
Yeah.
You're guests, not prisoners.
Yeah. I will kind of look around, and not seeing any, kind of look to Cypress and go, do you know where they are?
Instinctually, I think Cypress is going to try and hide the like rising separation anxiety panic kind of thing, and you'll see Cypress like close his eyes. His left eye is still faintly like glowing green from like under the lid. It's kind of unsettling and gross. But he's going to breathe a couple of times and say, I'm sure they're out getting some air. Not a big deal. Hey, I have to take care of something real quick, but
we're
don't leave
about
without me.
to go
Yeah?
to dinner.
Yeah, just, give me a second. I don't want to walk around here alone. And Cypress is going to go and find Drollor.
And it's literally the next door.
Yeah.
You find Drollor trying to fit himself into the garbs he was given, and each time he tries, it's ripping.
Oh, poor baby.
And so he basically just takes the turban and puts it on his head and just stays in whatever he has for now.
Cypress is gonna like open the door and then realize that's kind of rude and just softly knock, and is standing there like wrapped in like the linen cloak kind of thing, but it's dragging on the floor. So kind of the opposite end of that problematic spectrum, and feel very awkward about it. And his ears will like twitch and go down a little bit, and say, "Hey, listen, can you keep a secret?"
Sure, of course, my friend. What's on your mind?
Look, I don't know if you realized, but back at the fair, I took this and kind of take his arm out and jiggle the bangle. This was yours, and I took it from you because I thought it would be fun, and it was. But
I thought I dropped it.
I mean, you did, but you dropped it because I took it off of you, and then I put it on and then ran away. So I want to give this back and say I'm sorry. So
well,
don't.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Just don't tell Penny that I gave it back. Yeah.
Can I ask why?
Yeah, because I mean, it's the fair, and food was free, but we figured why not have some fun, and that's kind of what we did. Was we pick out a mark and follow, and see if we could play some tricks and relieve them of some of their earthly possessions and redistribute or get ourselves something to eat. I love them like a sibling, and I would I'm always going to look out for them, and I'm really kind of worried about them right now, and I don't want them to know that I gave away a meal ticket because I felt bad, because that's out of character for me. So if you could and ears are like completely flat and embarrassed right now. So if you could just like not say anything about this, and I'd appreciate that. So you were not the mark. That was all on accident. I just kind of jumped at the opportunity, and I'm sorry.
You really care for them, don't you?
Yeah, they were kind enough to forgive me from trying to steal from them too when times were hard. So yeah, I think whatever's going to happen from now on, I think I can repay the favor and extend some kindness out as well, like I used to. I was a doctor for a while, and then stuff happened. We won't get into that, but yeah, this was yours. It's still yours. I have no use for it. Thank you for understanding. I think dinner's ready, so I'm just gonna go.
Wait. You were willing to do this for them, so I mean, I just got this because I thought it looked nice, but you know, I think it suits y'all a bit better. And he goes a hand and he hands it back and goes, and I think both you and they will be the good path that you're on, or at least beginning from this moment. And I'm gonna hand that bangle back to you and say, consider it my gift.
Both of Cypress's ears are just straight up, and he'll take it and slip it back on the left wrist, and say, Drolor, I thank you. It's nice to know that even though you're the size of a mountain, you're still a pushover. And he's just gonna run out the door and like kick it closed and just cackle and slide to a stop, like right behind Davin, and just like, okay, oh good, let's go, I'm ready.
Can I, as you run, can I try to grab him by the ears?
Do it.
Grab him by the tail so the tail falls off.
Do it.
No, I want to grab him by the ears. There's a reason why.
Do it.
Oh god.
What would this be a grapple?
Just a strength check.
All right. Damn it. 8.
As you reach out, they are just too quick for you.
As the door slams, Drolor gives out a bit of a sigh and goes, "Ah, that one's gonna be trouble, isn't he?"
Yes. Thank you for noticing. Yes.
Oh boy.
Maybe I should start looking at that slow spell a little early.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. So Cypress is just like vibrating with joy, and I guess it's like part joy and part like performative joy. Right behind Dan, and just like trying to like always keep I don't know, like a playful distance of like, ha 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 ha, I got you.
That's nice. Shall we go? Let's. I guess. Norm.
Yeah, I just opened my door and I'm just there. And I'm like, oh, is it dinner time?
Yes. I guess we can head down together. I guess we can wait for Drolor and hope, like, still kind of looking for Penny and just waiting a bit. It's been a few minutes, so I'm concerned. I will go because by process of elimination, I'm assuming I've determined Penny's door. And I will go knock on it.
There is no answer.
Penny? Shit, I'm not going to do that. No. Penny. Anyway, no, we're not going to go there. But I will take the handle and just be like, I'm coming in, and I will say that loudly so that they can hear it if they were in the room, and then open the door.
As you enter into Penny's apartment, it looks very much like y'all's. These beautiful mosaic floors, these half walls with this lattice inside. You can see the chandelier that's hanging up. You know, Droller has probably banged his head on it at least once, probably 4 times by now.
There's shards of the chandelier still in my hair.
And you can see the bloody clothes that Penny had and the dirt and the smoke and the soot and everything else. You can see where those are. They've tried to fold them and put them down nicely, but
yeah,
at this point, there's something just invariably wrong. As you try to sit here and take something that is so dirty and after what you've gone through and trying to keep it nice.
Mm-hmm. But they're not there.
And they're not there. At which point you hear the large brass gong.
I will close the door and look at the rest of us and be like, I don't know where Penny is, but hopefully they hear the gong and come beat us at dinner. Shall we go? Yeah, I will, and then I'll start. I'm assuming we're going to be escorted because we don't know where dinner is. But yeah, guess we'll start making our way to dinner.
So, Penny, you have just finished having your conversation with the guard as you hear the gong in the distance. You don't know where to look for that location. You imagine a place like this, there has to be one. But if this area over here is barracks for guards and everything else, probably not in this wing. So if that's got to be in the royal apartments or closer towards any other of the more public spaces, if not in the royal apartments, definitely not over here. So you'd have to make your way back towards the central locations to even begin that assessment.
I will simply just go to dinner.
Okay. As you 4 arrive at dinner first, you guys are all being ushered in, and there are guards standing outside. And there are 2 guards stationed inside, but they're on the far side of the room, next to the Duke. As you see them, you see the princess is sitting on his left. You see another woman on his right. You see a few other people that you do not recognize. And even in your nice clothes, you all have this like nervousness, like, am I dressed appropriately? Is everything, okay? But as you guys are coming in, they all stand for you. As the Duke sits here, opens his arms, and says, "Come, join me."
Cypress, why are you shaking your head?
Are you gonna ask that out loud?
No.
Okay. Cool.
I will step forward and like bow-ish, like a small general gesture, and then thank you, and I will make my way to a seat. Hopefully they're following. And I'm walking slow, like praying to the gods that Penny arrives shortly. But just having that just like slow walk, like trying to draw this out as much as possible. But I mean, it's right there.
So it's harder for you guys to tell where you're supposed to sit as opposed to Droller. Droller, you have a chair that looks very different than all the others. It is much larger and much sturdier. And ironically, you're going to have to almost sit in like lotus position to get your legs under the table. So this chair has short but strong legs, strong back for it, as you have to like squat all the way down to get into it. Everybody's puzzled as Norm comes in. Is you're still in your armor with a scarf and a turban.
Oh, well, the turban is the scarf. I just, instead of putting it
Oh,
on,
okay.
just I put it around like a scarf. So it's just kind of hanging off of me.
And then as you 4 all manage to find seats, Penny is just arriving.
Just cash. Just acting cash. Keeping it cash.
Penny, there you are. It took a little bit longer to get ready, I guess. I'm not gonna. I'm trying to.
Cypress is gonna cough. Be like, "Don't be a narc."
Yes, I had to shave my legs and make sure I completed my 23-step skincare routine before I could come to dinner. Apologies for the tardiness. And they're going to, like, lazily bow.
Drollard is going to give Cypress the little bit of a stink eye, but you're also going to see a bit of a mischievous smile on his face.
That's a wink. You get a wink back.
Davin kind of looks at Penny and like, really? Just like, but fine, and just sits and that part. Okay, and then look like at the Duke and the princess, and just sort of like, thank you so much for extending this hospitality to us.
The hospitality extended to you is merely a reflection of the ideals you have extended to our enemies. Well, more than that, I was with you for more than a day and a night. I saw all of you who, terrified, pained, hungry as everyone else, and you all chose to care for others more than yourself. It
It's
says something.
Jola just speaks up and says, just in my nature to do so.
Same. It we needed to get out of there, and we needed to get as many people out as possible. I didn't want to leave anyone behind. Help where you could and do what you could. It felt like the right thing to do given the circumstances.
Well, from here, we have good news and bad news. The good news is that Findlay will not be attacked. That is going to protect all of our people. The bad news is we have had to agree to a non-aggression pact. Officially, at least.
And unofficially.
Unofficially, those who have no hold to the crown nor have previously sworn oaths to either are free to do what they will. And of course, seeing your hearts, if you were to choose to stand up, you would be given the best training to be able to do so.
Well, we need to find out what happened and why. We can't let this this horror go on without some response.
While it's impolite dinner conversation, however, I think it's also a matter of a family dinner. And if we were to choose to have the topic be an understanding of the events that took place, a family dinner is just that. It's not a war room.
Right. We're just
Are
having
you
dinner.
are you adopting us then?
Well, you're guests at our family dinner. This is not an official war council. This is not an official debriefing or interrogation, and we would have no reason to have to report it.
Exactly.
No, of course not. War is such a
Ugly
unappetizing
business.
topic.
The
Aye.
soup is delicious.
As the Duke. Well then, I guess we all know what the topic of tonight's conversation at dinner will be. I suggest we eat slowly.
Agreed.
Or at
As
least have a few seconds or thirds.
We haven't eaten in a while. I'm quite hungry.
in accordance with the importance of the task, 99 courses have been prepared.
Of course.
Drolor's eyes just pop open wide. Oh, just like, oh my god, I'll actually not be hungry for once in an evening.
Davin just laughs.
So first thing that happens is, of course, introductions. As he tells you his name, Tullus Arandus. This is my wife, Avida. Of course, you informally know my niece, Brunhilde. So that's Kalis. And this is our friend Sid. He has been helping us with a number of changes throughout the city, including our advancing our irrigation and some of our other technologies.
Well,
So, and you guys are giving introductions for the first course. So, is there anything special you would like to tell them about yourselves? I know it seems almost counterintuitive at this point because we've all introduced our characters. So, do you want to go into an introduction, or do you want to say you give an introduction?
I mean, I'm fine with just saying we've given an introduction. You know.
Yes.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4,
Yeah, I think that's best.
5. All right. As you've all introduced yourselves, the second course arrives, and Princess Brunhilde begins to ask, when it happened, what did you see?
It was during the fireworks. As if they were almost using it as cover.
Then we saw the ships.
There was a man in a green robe at the fireworks before they went off.
Yeah. There were hundreds of constructs and all the skull mechanic type entities wearing the uniforms of Oh, the name just left my head. Name just left my Elon. They're specifically wearing the uniforms, and there were many of them, and they were fighting with guns. And there was one commander who looked a bit like Grolor, but had green skin and teal scars, carrying a massive axe.
And later in the city, there was what looked like a storm giant, and Cypress is gonna go not catatonic, but like glassy-eyed with like lost in that moment, and is going to detail like the that massive entity and the fear attached to that of the depths and of everything there.
As Cypress goes into that, Penny is going to take one of the sauteed carrots off of one of the platters and put it on Cypress's plate, and then just continue eating calmly. And they're gonna say,
I'm pretty sure that's
What?
a hate crime.
"Pretty sure it's not.
Pretty sure.
Pretty sure that's good for your diet." Penny's going to eat calmly and then say, They were aeons. The constructs, they were aeons.
I'm looking at Penny again. Did you tell us that out of game? Did you tell us that before?
Penny said that they were spirits, which is their like colloquial term for it.
You didn't specifically say aeons. You said the spirits, right?
I said spirits.
Where are they getting airship? Or guns? That's Lindblom technology.
We don't know, but they had a lot of it.
If Axel Dice got airships, he could only have gotten them from Adelaide.
Which would mean Adelaide might be compromised in some way.
Do I have to go home? You might need to speak to someone there. But they're a bunch of right twats. Well, if you find their demeanor upsetting, perhaps we could find a way for you to listen without being seen. Hi. Bloody tossers. As you see, this person has no couth, even in the presence of royalty. And as uncomfortable as you were and just trying to speak and make sure you were, not stepping on toes with using certain words, you realize, oh, thank goodness. We could just...
Penny immediately likes them.
A little bit of a relief, like As if the moment those words were said, Davin goes, "It was fucking awful what happened," and the only way we got through it was by running to get away, taking as many as we could. They attacked indiscriminately. There was no I don't know if there was a plan. I don't know if there were tactics. They didn't seem to be after anyone, but they seemed to be after everyone.
Their tactic was decimation
Exactly.
and nothing more.
And they had summoners, that crystal that was used. They had something
Pennies.
that was, huh?
I was gonna say Penny, as soon as you say that, just pauses, cutting into a piece of meat.
Some kind of crystal or something that was creating and these constructs, these aeons, as Penny called them. So they seemed soulless. I think their only goal was death. And I don't know where that came from, but we saw at least one person that was in control of these creatures, these constructs.
Aeons are spirits of life. They're bound to people. They're bound to the land. What would have to be done to them in order for them to become that?
Nothing good, I can tell you that much.
I look at Penny and I say, "You knew about it. You knew what it was. Right?"
I
You were the one that told us we needed to run.
did. What are you thinking, Damon?
I'm thinking you know more.
Do you think I was part of that?
No, not that. I just think information is important in this moment.
Penny's gonna look over to the royals and is gonna set down the cutlery and say, "How much were you able to get out of those defectors?"
They were willing to speak as far as what their initial mission was, their exact orders, and the actions that they took. They remain loyal to the Empire itself. They believe that their actions now will strengthen the Empire in the long run. I cannot say if it is a matter of them attempting to infiltrate here, or if it is a matter of some form of honor. But if it is a chance, if it is for the honor of the soldiers, these men and women and others who choose to stand for at least some semblance of right, I have to give them that chance.
Since this is a family dinner, can I trust that anything I say will continue to go unreported and I cannot be tried for what I say?
It is a family dinner.
I cannot decide if I should tell you to kill those soldiers or if I should tell you to let them live. But what I feel for certain, one way or the other, is that those soldiers down in your barracks are no different from those Aeons that we ran from. I don't think those soldiers are correct. I think something terrible has been done to them to make them compliant and to think the ways that they think. And I know the Aeons wouldn't do what they were doing had they had their own free will.
Well, I cannot know for certain now. But I did see the look of shame in their eyes when they admitted that they had fired upon civilians before they realized that they were civilians. For those crimes, they will be tried. As defectors, or at least by their own admission, they are not refugees from their country. And they're not quite defectors, are they?
They have enough sense to walk away from their own home army and to face death and bullets to do so. But they will not say anything bad against the one who gave them the orders.
That's the problem with the military empire. Axel Dai gives an order. It goes to his generals. His generals pass down the order, and it goes to colonels and majors and lieutenants and sergeants before it reaches their ears. Do they know that it's Axel Dai? Or do they suspect it was a foul order from someone in the middle?
They believe wholeheartedly that it was their emperor who told them to commit that crime.
How do you know that?
The spirits told me.
Do I believe them?
Roll a wisdom check.
$18.
Penny knew that being, the silver hair and the blue robe. Does she know more? She certainly knows about aeons. Does she have other means to divine this? It's possible. Do you believe it 100%? That's up to you. But it is possible.
Davin takes a long drink from his goblet and just looks. He's looking at Penny and just is wondering, how much do they really know?
Penny's going to pick up their goblet and take a drink and try to convey with their eyes and eyebrows that they are willing to talk about it later, but not at family dinner.
I'm going to assume I picked that up. And
with your 18, you get the sense that Penny is signaling to you that she is willfully holding something back.
Got it. They are willfully holding something back.
Hey.
Okay. And then so I'll take you would have noticed Davin had gotten that raised hackles for a moment looking, and then when they see like the look at Penny, they relax a moment and put the goblet down. And then is there anything else is there anything else that you, and we'll talk to the Duke and the princess and the rest of the family and be like, is there anything else you need to know?
Well, by hearing about airships and firearms, Sid believes that Adelaide has something to do with it. And if Adelaide has something to do with it, it's going to be his cousin. So then, of course, we have whatever is going on with these other aeons, dealing with these quote-unquote defectors for now. Everything is in a very awkward state. And the questions arise by the nearing the end of dinner. Will you help us?
Davin kind of is eyeing everyone before giving a response. And then I will kind of like say, yes, I know I will help. And I believe the rest of us will as well. But I don't want to speak for them.
I am also willing to help.
I will as well to find the truth of this matter.
Cypress is going to look at Penny.
Penny's gonna look at Cypress.
Okay, out of character for a moment, Eric. What would happen if we said no? I just need to know.
We're out of the game.
Out of the game. I just want to know, like.
Ignore the fact that we're both making the same pose right now. Just
that's not important. It's
fine. Don't worry
That's just
about it.
siblings. That's just siblings.
It's just
sibling
siblings.
thing.
We
Yeah.
share the same brain cell.
Yeah, sorry about it.
Well, that means that Penny and Cypress would become my NPCs, and you would need to have new characters in 2 weeks.
Nope, absolutely not. Nope, 100%. Cypress feeling that come through the cosmos. I was like, yeah, we're in. Right, Penny? We're in, right?
Well, I was hoping to, have the night to discuss it amongst ourselves, but yeah, I suppose we're in. All right, fine.
We're in.
Well,
Right.
you won't be alone. But we can't raise an army here. We have friends around the world. Part of the peace. And so we will raise small battalions wherever we can, perhaps only squads. Whatever individuals who choose of their own accord to take up this mantle, the city guard cannot be a part of it as a part of the armistice, nor our own armies. But I suppose we do have more money than we need, and it could be given to the people themselves. I mean, they have suffered terrible tragedies.
Exactly.
They do need the help.
Yes.
And I'm certain there are like-minded people around the world.
I would like to hope so.
Well, you need not be shipped off tonight. You are still our guests, and in the coming days, we can find out where it is you need to go for the training that you wish. Um, has everyone had enough to sup?
Davin will pat his like very full and strong belly and be like, I am quite satisfied, thank you.
Yeah, everybody wore sweatpants today.
I ate the actual charcuterie board after everybody else was done. Not knowing that you're supposed to just eat the cheese, he got to it and everybody had already ate it. And they said, Go have some of the charcuterie board," and him being like, "Okay," and he just ate the whole wooden thing. So every time they put out an entree for him, he just says, "Oh no, just take it to the people out to the streets." And so he's just, or either that or the prisoners. So he's just been passing on all his food.
You give away the food, then you eat the plate.
Well, I don't eat it in front of everybody. I just tell somebody that I'm fasting.
Hey, that could work.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been pretty much a paladin so far, so. So, how's about we take a short break, and we'll come back at the apartments where you guys can come up with personal plans.
Cool.
Alrighty, we are going to take a short break, and we will be right back. And we are back. So, you guys are in the guest apartments. You have the ability to discuss anything you want that you have heard over dinner, any plans that you have, thoughts, ideas, secrets.
Are we all meeting up in one person's apartment for a sleepover?
I will say that as we were heading back from dinner, I will say, um, let's meet in my room in like 5 minutes and just be like, and so we can talk so that we can talk privately. So, and then once we're all together, I know that was a lot. That was a lot of information to take on, and it feels like this is going to be a lot bigger than I think any of us would have ever thought about being a part of or considering. I know we all agreed at the table, but I mean, if you still don't want to do this, it's fine. There will be no ill will. But I want to figure out what happened. And I think the only way to do that is to do this. If nothing else, to get justice for those who were lost.
This is a way to make a difference, but it's also a way to. I mean, I don't know about you all, but I don't necessarily trust authority figures who deal in the legalese of what's allowed and what's not allowed in a conflict. This is a way to make sure that I know I can do everything I can to do the right thing, or at least keep other people honest when it comes to the suffering that other people, that even more other people have to endure. So it's all fun and games to, make a mark and play some tricks, but it's different when you're dealing with someone who has so much to lose or something as serious as this.
Lord gives you a side eye on that comment.
But I look to Penny. What say you?
Do you think that they actually prepared 99 courses? Because we got dismissed after just 2 of them.
You guys actually managed to get through 70 courses before you guys were finished. But it's like each course was only like 2 bites.
The idea behind the idea behind the courses was to draw the dinner out as long as possible so that we would have a reason to discuss things off the table.
Rich people are fucking weird.
Yes. Yes, that is very true. That's a very accurate statement. But I have a feeling that you, again, might know more. You said some things that I don't know how you gathered that information. You said the spirits, and while that's, I could maybe see how that's true or could be true. I feel like you wanted to say more, but wanted to wait till we were alone.
I snuck down to the attic after we all were dismissed to change fresh up.
I did not catch that, Finn. Sorry.
Audio
Your
went
mic-
robot.
Your
Oh
audio went-
no! Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Hell yeah. Sweet. I guess we'll never know what I said in character then. But he said, I snuck down to the barracks after we were all dismissed to change and freshen up for dinner.
Oh. Oh.
So you spoke with the prisoners? Well, I
And-
mean,
Well, technically just one of them. His name is Suk.
And that's where you got your information from. About their
Aye.
allegiance to the Empire.
Aye.
Is it also where you got your potential killing them from?
Yes and no. I had a feeling, one that I'm not entirely proud of, when I first saw them at the gates. But it was more or less confirmed when I spoke to them, which was why I went down to the barracks in the first place. I'm not proud of this. I was going to try to kill one or all of them when I went down there. And then I remembered that I'm level 0 and have 1 hit point. So I decided it would be a bad idea and change tactics to get more information.
That's
I'm
why you
so
always
proud of
carry
you.
a Molotov.
It's why I always prepare burning hands.
Well, I appreciate your hesitation. I'm glad you went a different way.
We'll see if I agree with you.
That's for another day. For now, though, we're all still together.
we're in this for the long haul now.
Agreed. I don't know where we can go or where we'll be taken, but despite only knowing each other, at least some of us, only knowing each other a day or so, I feel that we can be stronger together. There's a lot here. There's a lot of potential here. And that's my hope, again, that whatever this next step takes us, doing it together will be for the benefit of all. But we're going to be working outside the lines in a way. We won't have much to fall back on. I think if what I gleaned from the conversation with the Duke and the Princess, this is, I wouldn't say covert, but this is non-allegiant, non-aligned, but aligned in a way.
I mean, we would just be... We're being bankrolled by the Crown, but we're more of a hidden task force.
That's a great way to put it, Norm. The training, the skills, whatever we may be doing or learning, we'll get that from the Empire. Or not the Empire. Didn't say that word.
The Duke, the Crown.
The Duke, the Crown. And then we'll go where we need to go. Save who we need to save. Yeah.
We're doing this as much for ourselves than that we are for them.
I feel like...
If anything, this is our way of answering our own questions in a way. They're just willing to help us in their own way.
I feel like in the sense of, if we weren't to agree, what would we do? Just go back to our lives and wait to hear from another thing happening years later? We need this as much as they need us to operate under this guise of a truce while the Duke and them prepare for a counterattack. We can also be finding out information and finding out if this was truly what the Emperor wanted, or if it's somebody hiding under the guise of the Emperor's word.
This entire set of circumstances, it doesn't add up, and I don't trust it. And I don't think we have all the information that we should. Well, not that we should, but I don't think we have all the information being the level of involvement that we are. I think I don't want to be a pawn in some Royals game, but this deal and this offer gives us an opportunity to be as independent as we could be while still
Being on the
enjoying
board.
the benefits of, like you said, being bankrolled by the Crown,
Right.
but still mostly in control of our own direction. And I think that's probably the best possible set of circumstances that we could have to figure out what actually happened here, figure out the truth, and help as many people, ourselves included, as we can.
Yeah. I think that's the best way to put this. I think that's the best way to go. Independent contractors. That no. No. Okay.
Because at the end of it all, it was clearly
A dog.
I mean, from what we can tell, the humans and the constructs had two different complete ideas of what they were supposed to do. The constructs were being controlled
Hmm.
by these uh, lieutenants and things like that. The humans that had morals, they believe in the idea of their country, but when put into the state that the scenario that they were put into, they decided that this isn't what their country stood for, and they tried to
Right.
leave, and they were shot at.
Yeah.
I mean, so clearly there's conflicting ideals in this that was happening in this attack. Whoever made the constructs, whoever those people were, the sea giant and those lieutenants, those are the people that are going to know the answers of who's behind all this.
Agreed.
Sook seemed to think that it was the Emperor who organized all of this, and told me that there were 24 mages who had the ability to control the Aeons.
That's not a bad list to work through.
Not at all.
What do we think about this specialized training that we were offered? Anyone have any thoughts on that?
Just like being bankrolled. I mean, compared to what? Be going back to me going back to Fort Ostrom and just studying. I mean, this is my closest shot to learning more and being able to do more if this ever happened again.
If
Oh,
it'll
I'm gonna take full advantage of it to learn more. I think if I'm gonna get anything out of it, then sure, I might have my own personal reasons why, but hey, this training's gonna be for me as much as it is gonna be for everybody else. So
I'm if it'll help, and which I think it will, I'm all for it. I have family in Clement, but who knows if they're okay. I could probably send word if nothing else, but I think being a part of this is going to be something bigger and will help in the long run. I think they'll be happy about that. I think our lives are different now, having experienced what we've done.
If it's a way for me to not have to run anymore, or to be able to save those Aeons, I'll do it.
So we're in agreement. Okay. and
Let's do this.
let's get some rest. And we'll tell them in the morning. But I think a good, nice, long, comfortable rest is good reward for what we're about to embark upon.
Do we all put our hands in the middle and say a go team now, or what? If we're sticking together, do we come up with a catchphrase, or?
I believe it's da 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 da.
Just fanfare, just like there's like this traveling band that just hides in the bushes around us, and every time something good happens, he just pop out and start playing.
Wait, so if Cypress and Penny say no to this quest, can Connor and I make 2 bards that just do that for the rest of the campaign for 2 years?
Hello, I'm Lypris, and I play the lyre.
Hi, I'm Nickel, and I play the lute.
Oh God, no. Oh no.
You just made me spit pretzel all over my keyboard.
Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. But
We're gonna be a good team.
It's gonna be fine.
What could go wrong?
everything. And that's the best part.
So, as you guys eventually head back to your own apartments, finally fall asleep, you sleep for 13 hours. When you're finally ready to get up, it's almost 1 in the morning. Oh, sorry, 1 in the afternoon. Apologies. The other time. This is what happens when you're on a backward schedule.
Yeah.
As you guys begin to get ready, you find that your old clothes have been laundered. Most of it still together. Some of you dressed a bit threadbare to begin with. Ironically, there's no new clothes for Norm. Because he didn't have any to change.
I'm just polishing my armor.
But as Norm steps out, ready for the day, armor bright and shiny. Oh, good. We had a family breakfast. You weren't quite ready for it yet. We've been making some preparations and how best we might be able to handle the situation. So we've got a few ships that are going to be leaving soon. Well, not quite ships. I hope you don't mind the smell of fish. It would be very difficult to send you out as civilians in a military vessel. So to continue the propagation of what we understand, this seems to be the most effective way. So you'll all be traveling together until you get all the way down to the southern coast. We have friends in Serendia. From there, we'll be able to find out what your potential skills are, and then you can journey to particular destinations. Or if you waited here, they could come to us, though it takes longer upriver. Would you want to travel there or wait here?
Travel to Serendia or stay here in Finley? Was that the question?
Yes.
I think we should travel.
I mean, we have to go to Adelaide anyway to see about maybe if we can track down where that ship came from.
Well,
Cyprus.
Sid is headed there. As much as he disdains his family, well, mostly his cousin, but as difficult as it would be for him to deal with that, he does have the ability to travel there unimpeded.
Right. But I do think going to Serenity is probably the best idea.
All right.
Cyprus. Fish means water. And you know how you get about water. Are you sure you want to do that?
I don't want to, but I have some feelings about staying here. I think that's a way of inviting prying eyes and ears, and I think we should be maybe a little bit more difficult to pin down than that. And I think the more distance we can put between us and any potential conflict this early on, I think that's a wise move. And if that means I have to suffer through an open ocean voyage, then someone's gonna have to hold me while I cry, but it'll be worth it.
We can just put you in a barrel.
Promise?
Well,
But he's a rabbit, not a monkey. Let's be a monkey in a barrel.
Yeah, I need to go in a hat.
I'll find you a hat.
Droller, what size hat do you wear? That might actually work.
well, Serendia is downriver, not open ocean.
Yeah, we're fine. We're good. Let's do that. Yeah, that. Mm-hmm.
Now, the river is 12 miles at its widest point.
Excellent.
Basically an ocean. Great.
It's at its widest. Any wider than that, it's actually part of the lake.
Is it freshwater or brackish water or saltwater?
No, it's fresh water. It comes from the glacier north of Fort Vestra.
Cyprus, you're fine then. Only sea monsters are in saltwater. You're
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah. Then we can have river monsters. Great.
but they're edible.
And so am
They're
I.
probably not going to attack the barrels. It'll be fine.
All right, Norm.
That's the
I'll hold you
first
to
thing
that.
they attack. Anyway, sorry.
Damn it!
Only if they're red barrels, they'll attack them.
Don't attack red barrels; they explode.
Well, there you go. You get in a red barrel, they're not going to attack it. Perfect.
There we go. Problem solved. Yep, I'm good to go. Let's do this.
Google, are catfish colorblind?
No, only dogfish are colorblind.
Google says that catfish are not colorblind and that they, in fact, see shades very well.
Now you know.
See, Norm knew this.
So let's take a fish boat to Serendia.
So, you have the ability to leave whenever you'd like. You could enjoy the palace for another day, another week, but whenever you're ready, you begin the simple task of boarding this. It's a large fishing boat, so there's room to move around. And for some reason, they're bringing extra cargo on board, and it has to be carried each chest by 4 people. And each chest has a royal seal, and the captain of the fishing boat receives a nice packet of papers with the royal seal on it.
Is that us? Are we the royal sealed special packages on the boat?
No, it's the chests of gold. So, as you begin the several days journey south, you do finally reach Serendia. Serendia stands as a testament to harmonious coexistence of nature, education, community, pilgrimage. Nestled along a picturesque coastline, this thriving town offers a haven to travelers, scholars, and those seeking respite from the tumultuous world. There's schools and all sorts of well, obviously, inside of any school, you're going to have teachers and obviously a large assortment of students. And it is this open air sort of academy, very Greek style. And you actually notice similar architecture here as you did in Idris. The beaches themselves, the town has quaint cottages that line the shore, pristine beaches with crystal clear waters. You have the fishermen plying their trade, and the residents welcome newcomers with open arms, fostering a strong sense of camaraderie and togetherness. You see people that literally walk into any class, any lecture, and people that just seem to just come in for part of it and then leave. Everybody is able to just come and go and absorb knowledge. And as you're here, somebody, Cypress, you're probably the one to notice it, as there's now a letter in your pocket.
What does it say?
It is instructions to meet at one of the cottages outside of town. At which point they said one of their instructors will perform their evaluations.
Was it addressed just to me, or is it for everybody?
It says you lot.
Got it. Cool. I will share it with us lot and say like, marching orders, ladies and gentlemen, or everybody.
So, as you lot do eventually arrive at the designated cottage, it is absolutely the ghastly decorated beach vacation saccharine, vacation spot. But it's located behind a hill and out of the public view. At which point, an individual who never says who they are goes through this huge questionnaire, pricks each one of your fingers, touches it to a crystal, and figures out what best to teach you based off of what color the crystal turns when you put your drop of blood on it.
Lovely. Blood.
It's just one drop.
I know.
I'm afraid I don't bleed.
Norm doesn't get to learn anything.
As you fill out basically this large questionnaire, and you realize is this like a test? And you score really high in Paladin. However, since you can't bleed and they can't properly test you, you might end up as some sort of fighter.
The greatest insult of them all.
I feel like I could make my own test. It's fine. Looks at an assessment. It's like, I could have. There's way more things that it could be done with this.
Oh, 2 a.m. East Coast. Sorry. As they begin to process everything, which one of you is the first to leave?
I think I'd be the first to leave. Because they're like, we don't know how to draw blood from this guy. And I'm just like, you know what? Fine. Whatever. I'll see you guys later. I'll be back.
All right. So, 3 days into your saccharine beach vacation, Norm is the first to leave. Who's next?
I think probably Cypress. I think Cypress has a very disdainful approach. Like there's only so many. There's only so much one person can do with an assessment test like that to like make fun of it. And I think it's a combination of kind of being bored with the whole process and also feeling like he already knows what he's about and the direction he wants to go in. And so kind of just reaches a point and goes like, I'll make up the rest as I go. I think he's the next one to go.
As much as you sit here and have these feelings that the test is worthless, you can't help but stop at the door. Because Penny's behind you. You haven't been alone in a long while.
I think pausing at that door, Cypress is going to look over his left shoulder, so just his glowing green eye is kind of pointing back into the beach house, and say as confidently as he can try, "Don't worry, I'll be right outside. Take your time." And is gonna go and just kind of linger. His hand is gonna linger on the door frame. Also, I don't know if it's been mentioned, but Cypress has 6 fingers on his left hand, because that's what the character art said, and I'm sticking with it. So, glowing green eye on the left side and 6 fingers on the left hand, and it just kind of taps on the door frame before just sliding out. Almost like it wants to grip and stay, but it can't.
Penny sees that hand and waits for Cypress to get out of earshot, and then goes, "That hand's still really fucking creepy."
Considering my ears are twice the size of my head, Cypress hears that and is both delighted and hurt.
Cypress insults the spirits, Penny insults his creepy left hand.
Fair is fair.
Who's next to leave?
Penny takes a minute to take something out of their pocket and hold it in their hands and runs a finger along its edges and then decides to step up to the door and looks back at Drolor and Davin and says, "See you on the other side," and then steps through.
Is Davin next?
I think Davin's going to go last.
Okay.
Yeah. Drolor's eventually gonna head up and begin making his way towards the door. And while he's walking there, he's looking down at that same ring he got. And back at the fair, the engraving on it has begun to worn a little just with how much he's rubbed it at this point. And he whispers, simply saying, "For you," before stepping out that door.
Drolor, as you continue to rub your sister's name on this ring/bracelet, you, not knowing where she is, each step could be closer or farther away. But you'll never know until you take that step.
And that's what this first step is, out of the cottage.
And with that, Davin will, seeing that everyone is left, He'll look at the chairs that they were sitting in, or the larger, whatever, like stool or what have you that Cypress may have been on, because he's sort of. He will stand up, walk towards the door, take a moment and look back. A smile will cross his face in a hope that this is going to be a great fucking adventure. And he will go to the door, take a deep breath, put his hand to his chest, and then take the doorknob or door handle, open it, and walk out. But he won't close the door.
Tavin, as you're the last person here, as each person is left, starting with Norm on the third day, and one person each day, here it is the 8th day, and your ship has finally come in. This day has been the longest day, as you've had no one else's problems, concerns, or anything else to burden you. And every minute of this day has been nothing but your father.
Hope I do you proud, Dad.
As you are all shipped off to destinations currently unknown. That's where we're going to end tonight's session. Next week is going to not next week, 2 weeks from now, our next session is going to be a 3-year time skip as the players finally receive all of the training for their characters, and they will then have their character levels for the story.
What? No training montage?
No training montage. If you're going to describe your training, you're going to have to do it as in character.
It's a montage. Anyway.
Yeah, we need a montage.
To be the best, you gotta fight the do.
America, fuck yeah.
Oh.
So, thank you all for sticking with us tonight. We ran just a little bit longer than originally planned. Guys, go to the Vibe Tribe store. Get awesome merch. Super comfy. Thank you for watching Gaea Chronicles. Let's go in order, starting with Finn. Where can people find you on the interwebs?
They can find me on Vibe Tribe every other Sunday, 6:30 Pacific Standard Time, as I DM Between the Pros.
So adorbs. And Riku, where can people find you?
Yes, you get right here on the Vibe Tribe. You can find me as the game master for the Academy, which is not one of our live shows, but it is a pre-recorded podcast. We actually are finally getting into our season 3 production of it starting tomorrow. So really excited to get back to that story. Got a lot planned for this year, including maybe asking some of these folks to hop on every once in a while. Who knows? And you can also find me. I didn't make it to the last session, but starting on the next session, you can find me on Unveiled on Dakota's game. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And of course, you could just randomly find me around Vibe Tribe. I'm one of the main people on it, one of the executive committee. So feel free to reach out with any questions, and I will see you around.
Are you also going to do the super adorable face? See? Super adorbs. And Connor.
It's me. Hi. You can go back into Vibe Tribe Season 2. You can find me in a couple of games on there. I was in A Walk Among Gods, I was in Neon Memories, and I was in Duskvale. You can also find me now on Season 3 for Vibe Tribe. I am in El Juego, which is once a month on Sundays. It's a live stream, which is DM'd by Adolfo, the nerdy Puerto Rican. So you can find that one. I'm also in Between the Pros, that my sibling is so eloquently DMing, as well as many of these players and our DM are also in. And you can find me right here. So subscribe to Vibe Tribe is the easiest way to follow me and all of my crazy antics. So thank you very much.
There it is. Also super adorbs. Damon.
Hey everybody! If you wish to find me out on the social meds, you can find me as DMA Gamer 79 on Twitter and TikTok. In the Vibe Tribe, Season 3, I am in this game, Gaea Chronicles, and then I am also in, and the name just left my head, the Golden Feathers of Tien Tang, which is on alternating Tuesday nights, live streamed. Get in touch with it, have fun, play nerdy games, roll the click clacks, and have fun.
Also super adorbs. I think it's just the hand thing. It just makes everyone super cute. Dan.
Well, you can find me on here, of course, on Gaea Chronicles, and also on Into the Pros, along with Ben and Connor and Eric. But yeah, those are the two, and I'm definitely always, if anything else comes up, I would definitely be promoting it.
Hey. See, everybody's super adorable when they do that. What's up, Internet? I'm Dungeon Master Eric. This has been episode 2 of Gaea Chronicles. This ends our prologue invasion. Next episode will begin Occupation. Like I said, is a 3-year time skip, and you can find me across all social media at Dungeon Master Eric. I have another game that I run. It is a Witcher 5e game. If you want information on where to find that, message me and I will give you all the information, but it's on another channel, and so we're respecting this channel. But you can message me privately and I'll get it to you. Thank you so much for coming out tonight and spending this time with us. We love having you here. It is so much fun, and shit's about to get real. It is about to start. Thank you so much, and we love you. Hey, get in here, Rico. Get in here. All right. Good night.
Thank you so much for tuning in to another Vibe Tribe production. What's gonna happen next time? Well, you're gonna have to tune in to find out. But until then, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, and as always, make sure that you keep the good times rolling. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you next time.